Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your weekend here on Saturday. Now, since we just had a new flip of the Doom Tower rotations, this is the Eternal Dragon rotation number 2 for the Doom Tower. There are 3 different rotations. I wanted to get a video out there talking about which set to farm, talking about the bosses, how to prepare for the final boss, the secret rooms, which ones are going to be the most difficult to kind of prepare for, and just our full mindset encompassing of the new Doom Tower so that you are prepared in embarking on the journey to progress as much as you can. Let's get into it. Alrighty, now like I said in the intro, there is 3 different versions of the Doom Tower. They call them rotations in the game, and right now we are on rotation number 2 right here, which means as you climb up, you will come across the Griffin, the Magma Dragon, the Nether Spider, and then your final boss will be the Eternal Dragon. And a very common question revolving around the Doom Tower is which set is the best one to farm. Now, you know, this one is a little bit debatable. It doesn't have one of the god tier sets like the Doom Tower Rotation 3 with Lethal. You definitely want to farm the Lethal set if you can. But in Doom Tower Rotation number 2, I mean, Guardian can be good for tanks. Fatal can be good for damage dealers. Affinity Breaker is trash. You're not going to want to farm that. Bloodthirst can actually be really good, especially if you're still trying to finish faction wars and things like that. You still need a 3-star some content. It can be good for secret rooms when you're building those random like attack rares that you need to clear rooms with. So all the sets are kind of viable besides Affinity Breaker. If you had to ask like the most generally useful one or something, I guess probably Fatal, because you've always got random damage dealers. You could fill in a 2-piece set that gives you attack and crit rate. But really, all of them besides Affinity Breaker can make sense to farm for you and your situation based on the content you're trying to clear. And then as you look at this, you do want to kind of prepare for the next rotation here on Doom Tower 3. Just the next couple weeks or so to keep in back of your mind that you're going to have to be facing the Bommel Dreadhorn, the Scarab, the Griffin, and the Dark Fae. Now, Doom Tower Rotation 3, the next one, might be the toughest one in terms of bosses. A lot of people really struggle on Bommel and Dark Fae, and even the Scarab and the Griffin are no joke. The Griffin may be considered the easiest one out of all of those, or you know, the Scarab just has some really interesting mechanics. I don't know, it's probably debatable in terms of the easiest one, but what I'm trying to say is that Doom Tower Rotation 3 does have very tough bosses, so just keep that in the back of your mind and kind of prepare over the next couple of weeks. We do have a couple CVCs before then. We've got one coming up here in a couple days on Tuesday, and then we've also got another one that will happen on this same Doom Tower probably like 16-17 days from now. And while we're on the subject of sets, I can pull up the sets tier list, the most recent iteration of this. I pull this up about once a week, talk internally with the team, and try to keep this up to date and current, and we adjust things as we talk more and more and gather more and more info. But as far as our most current version of the sets tier list, I can give you some context of these different sets. Remember, I was talking about Lethal. That set is absolutely god tier and amazing. But as far as the ones for Doom Tower Rotation number 2, in the context of this video, we've got right here the Guardian set, and then the Fatal set, and then the Bloodthirst, and then the Affinity Breaker all the way down here. So you can see that, you know, most of these sets are pretty decent and generally useful, most of them being at least in the B tier, in the kind of average or above average category. And right now, as of the current iteration, Guardian set is barely coming out on top, but Guardian and Fatal are kind of both right there at like the top of B or the low end of A. And we also need to talk about the secret rooms, obviously. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention, I should have mentioned a little bit sooner, was for your progress missions, you want to make sure that you start up the proper side of the Doom Tower first. Some of you, your accounts might be at a place where you can choose to either go up normal or up hard first. And you want to look at your progress missions for, you know, like the Arbiter and the Vermont 2 missions, because sometimes you'll get stuck on one where it says like, clear floor 100 in the Doom Tower on normal. Well, if you started up hard, now it's going to take you 10 days to get to that point, and you're really going to get stuck on your progress mission. So it's something I like to remind you on, is make sure you check your progress missions and embark up the proper side of the Doom Tower to keep those things flowing. Don't make the mistake that I did. I made too many errors like that on my way to Ramantu and got him way later than I should have. But anyway, what I did was I went through and kind of laid this out. You'll see normal on the left, and then it goes over to hard on the right. And we lay out the different 12 secret rooms. Down on the bottom, I put like the estimates for the max accuracy and resistance that you will need to clear that side. So let's say you're focusing on the normal Doom Tower. You should be fine on your accuracy champions if you are 200 plus accuracy. And if you're on the hard side, you should be fine on your champions if you are 400 plus accuracy. And maybe at some point I'll try to make these graphics like lay out every single room specifically, because maybe it scales down like on the HP room or something. You might only need like 320 accuracy, and I can try to make that a little bit more specific here over time. But just know that those are kind of parameters to expect. Like, you're not going to need 600 accuracy in the hard Doom Tower. You'll be just fine around that 400 threshold. But what this can do is help lay this out for you, which, by the way, I'll provide this down below if you would like to pull it up and save it to reference. But this will help you be able to prepare for what is going to be toughest. Like, if you're clearing on normal, I would say that the difficult ones you're going to want to focus on would probably be like Epic and Orc. Some of these are going to have 2 parameters on them instead of just 1. And you'll notice over on the hard side, a lot more of them have the double parameters, like the Epic Night Rev, which I just noticed I put Epic instead of Epic on the Night Rev. I'll fix that on the graphic. But yeah, so on the normal side, you probably want to focus on preparing for this. Yeah, that's going to be difficult to have enough good Epics in the Orc faction. It'd be champions like Verask would be a great healer there and stuff like that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. On the normal side, it's difficult to round out your roster enough, but there isn't anything too crazy. Like the famous one for being insanely difficult over on the hard side is like rare spirits is very difficult. You've got to use rare champions that are spirit affinity, and and then there's like ones that are rare attack champions and stuff like that. Like right here on level 9 can be extremely difficult. Those would probably be the 2 difficult ones, but there are other ones like Magic Support and also Epic Night Rev that can be very difficult. So these are going to be the secret rooms that you really need to watch out and prepare for on your journey to just keep in mind during these different CVC tournaments on champions you may want to consider building that will help you take down these certain secret rooms. And the final most difficult boss, I can't see it yet because I haven't progressed there, so it locks it, but it is going to be the Eternal Dragon. And on the toughest stage, some things to keep in mind is that it is going to have 250 speed on that final boss on hard, and it is going to have, I believe it's like 350 accuracy and 350 resistance. So as long as you are around that 400 threshold, you should be perfectly fine to kind of be able to debuff it and stuff like that. But as far as like the overarching theme of the Eternal Dragon, as a refresher course, it does have that calling card of putting your skills on cooldown. So champions that get default value by taking turns, like Sill of the Drakes, Doom Priest, stuff like that, or champions that have a lot of their value wrapped up in their default A1 ability can be champions to consider in the Eternal Dragon. But also, I'll work on like a more dedicated guide to prepare once we get closer to people approaching that final boss. Maybe we'll do a deep dive video here on the channel talking about some different teams and champions to consider, and how to kind of farm that boss and take it down, and how I do it on my main account. So there we have it. It would mean a lot to me if you would like to subscribe and like the video on your way out, as it helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. But I will also include the infographics down below if you would like to pull them up on your end, and also let me know your thoughts on the Doom Tower rotations and all of that stuff. I really enjoy when the comment section becomes an active opportunity for people to share their insights and feedback and where they agree and disagree and all of that. But I am actually going to head on over to the live stream and hang out for a little bit here on the weekend, get the account managed, get things rolling, and say hi to all of you if you would like to pop in. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.